What is going on, y'all? Geofucks. This video is just, I'm gonna be discussing how, as a intersex, transgendered man, trans masculine human being, who happens to also be queer, pansexual, gay, I represent multiple letters in the LGBTQIA plus community. I'm also Black, African American, a person of color, working class, college educated, student loans. I have various identities. I'm a part of various communities. I've had quite the lived experience. But in this video, what I want to talk about is being, again, the transphobia that takes place within the LGBTQIA plus community, and in very specific with cisgendered gays, cisgendered lesbians, cisgendered bisexuals. What I don't get is y'all can understand how someone treating you different, less than second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th class citizen because of your sexuality, y'all can see how that's wrong. But in the same breath, you can't see how treating someone who is trans, who is non-binary, who is gender fluid, who is gender queer, who is intersex, less than second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th class is wrong. Y'all can't see the two and how they're literally the same thing. And a lot of times within the community, the amount of transphobia that I have dealt with from gay men, gay, homosexual, cisgendered men, or cisgendered queer men, right? Because you have people who self-identify as heterosexual while at the same time engaging in homosexual sex. You have people who view themselves as gay while engaging in heterosexual sex with women. Again, everyone has the right, the freedom to self-identify. You do you, right? I'm doing me. So, first of all, anytime body parts are discussed, you already pretty much can prepare yourself as a gender variant person, as a trans person, to be potentially assaulted, disrespected, made fun of, belittled. All kinds of things can take place the minute we start talking about sex and body parts, genitalia. The invasive questions that you would never ask a cisgendered person, but somehow you feel comfortable asking trans folks, intersex folks. Y'all don't walk up to random cisgendered people and start asking them how big their penis is. Did you have your penis cut off? Do you have a penis? Do you still have a pussy? Do you like your pussy? You don't ask cisgendered people that. So why do you feel compelled to ask these invasive questions to trans people? Also, when we say transphobia, and I'm going to say it, privileged people don't get to tell marginalized people what their oppression is. Let me say that one more time. Privileged people do not get to tell marginalized people what their oppression is. What I mean by that, a cisgendered person doesn't get to tell me what transphobia is or isn't. You don't have a clue because you're cisgendered. You don't know what it's like to live in a trans body in this transphobic society. Just like a white person doesn't get to tell a black person, a Hispanic, a Latino, a Native American, an indigenous person about racism. Because you're not the one being oppressed. You would think that would be common sense, but as usual, privileged people have such a hard time with checking their privilege and thinking that they know everything and that they are the authoritative, person. And a lot of times these people are just bigots. It is what it is. You're not going to be able to reason with certain folks, and we need to accept that, honestly. Because to me, you end up wasting a lot of time. You're over here basically begging for a bigot to see you as a human being. So, let's go there. In my opinion, unless a person is engaging in a sexual relationship with you, a romantic relationship with you, they don't have to tell you they don't have to tell you anything about their genitalia, their body parts. And honestly, they don't have to tell you that they're intersex or trans or non-binary. Because you are nobody to me. And I'm just going to be honest. I work here. You work here. Why do I need to tell you every little thing about me? You're not telling me everything about you. You're not walking up and telling me that you're cisgendered. You're not walking up and telling me the type of genitalia and body parts you have. So why do you feel like I need to do that for you? And what cracks me up, and I gotta go here just to prove a point. Y'all want to know about body parts, and y'all feel like it's your right? In the same breath, the same cis gay men are not letting you know about their HIV status. Isn't that something? You need to know about my genitalia, my body parts, what I do and don't have, if I'm intersex, if I'm trans, just because you met me at work or whatever. But yet, you're not going around letting us know that you're HIV positive. Y'all don't even, half the time, especially if it's a cis man, y'all don't even know that y'all are HIV positive. You don't even know what your sexual status is because your demographic, cisgendered men, y'all don't get tested the way you should get tested. And then on top of that, you're the demographic that keeps sticking your penis in everything unprotected. But again, ain't it odd how, y'all can see how you shouldn't treat somebody horribly because they're HIV positive, and you shouldn't expect somebody to constantly give you all of this personal information to you, especially when you're not engaging in sex. You're not having a sexual relationship. Y'all not even in a romantic relationship. This is literally a coworker. You just met this person, and y'all are literally expecting somebody to give you all of their health information, all of their private information. It's ridiculous, and it's transphobic as hell, because this is what I mean by transphobia. If you wouldn't ask a cisgendered person the same thing, 9 times out of 10, that's transphobic. Because again, you're not asking cis people to what their genitalia is. You're not asking them if they're cis or trans. You're not. So, and that's another thing. Stop assuming that everybody is cisgendered, and maybe we wouldn't be having these issues. Also, in the dating scene, as a queer, pansexual, gay, intersex, trans man, I've said this so many times in other videos, it is very difficult, in my personal lived experience, and in my opinion. It's difficult for everybody, regardless of their gender, their genitalia, their sexuality, because human beings are very complex, and relationships take a lot of time, energy, effort, and both people, or the people that are involved, have to willingly be committed to it for it to work. So it's difficult for everybody. And at the same time, when you are a part of a marginalized community, identity, there's extra layers of difficult issues. So as a queer, pansexual, gay, trans man, intersex man, trans masculine human being, the dating scene is, on one hand, it's non-existent. On another hand, I'm literally sexualized and fetishized. Everything is a sneaky link. Everything is a hookup. Very rarely are we actually being treated like human beings that actually have feelings, emotions, wants, desires, needs, personality. A lot of times I feel like as a trans person, we're literally just seen as a sexual object. Everything is always about sex, and it's ridiculous. And at the same time, I like sex. Arguably, I love sex. I mean, I didn't start partaking into August of 2019, having consensual sex. And at that time, I was literally 26, about to turn 27 in like 2 months. So I'm a late bloomer. So for me, I enjoy sex because I waited to do it. And at the same time, I feel like, again, cis men that I have engaged with have only really been talking to me for one thing, and it's sex. And you notice how every relationship is based around sex. You're not really dating. You're just not. It's not really something that's actually taking place. When I envision dating, I literally mean going on dates, not just being at someone's house, not just being hit up. You know, like I have this one dude who constantly is sending text messages, and it's always about wanting to eat me out, wanting to have oral sex. Everything's always about sex. You know, I just got a text today. Are you available to feed me? AKA, he wants me to ride his face. And it's just like, once again, you've been sending these messages for the past month, and I'm not responding. And you don't see how that's sexual harassment? You don't see how that's sexualizing and fetishizing a trans person? You don't see how that can get annoying? You don't see how that is just exhausting? And then also, cis men, are you all that stupid that you can't comprehend that the other person is not interested in you? Because think about it, you're the only one sending the text messages. The other person is not responding. But again, cis men, you're manipulative. You're sexual predators the vast majority of the time. You don't know what consent is, and you don't respect it. And you think you're entitled to another person's body, and you think you're entitled to sex. Again, a lot of y'all, regardless of sexuality, are red flags. And I've been saying this for years. This don't make no damn sense. It gets really old. And then you run into cis men who are open and comfortable with their sexuality. They know they're gay, they know they're bisexual, they know they're pan, they know they're fluid. They own it, they're out, they're open, they're not in the closet, they're not living double and quadruple lives. And you still run into issues with them as well, because you will run into people, cis men, who are gay, for example. They won't date trans men, but they just want to fuck you. And or they don't want to date you, they don't want to have sex with you because they assume automatically that you have a vagina, a front hole. And while, yes, there are trans men, trans masculine, intersex men who have vaginas or a front hole, all of us are not the same. There are trans men who have penises. Okay? There's trans women who have vaginas. Okay? So everyone's not the same. Just like cisgender people. All cis men obviously don't have good dick. Okay? Obviously don't have big dicks. Obviously don't have thick, girthy dicks. Obviously, all of them aren't small either. All of them aren't skinny. Everyone is different. If you can see that with cis folks, why can't you understand that's the same for trans folks? Again, transphobia. Also, what I don't like about is, again, the hoops that you make me as a trans person jump through that you don't do with cis folks. Cis gay men, y'all will sit up, get with another cis gay man or another cis queer man and instantly be in a relationship with them in like 2-3 months. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to be getting to know you for a year. Again, it's the double standards and the hypocrisy. I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's a lot of BS that goes into these situations, and this is why I feel like a lot more of us in the trans community, in the gender variant community, need to start speaking up about our experiences and what we have experienced and been dealing with. There's a lot of cis queer men who they're disgusted by vagina, and they're always making like just childish, derogatory comments about pussies, front holes, vaginas. Oh, don't nobody want that fishy smell. Don't nobody want no, that's that nasty shit. And it's just like, it's really just basic immaturity. You're a grown man acting like a 7-year-old. Grow up. And again, if you don't like front hole, you don't like vagina, you don't like pussy, that is completely understandable. You have a right to your preferences. And at the same time, our preferences, the majority of the time, are literally rooted in closed-mindedness and bigotry. It is what it is. And at the same time, you can have your preferences. Nobody's telling you that you have to be with a trans man with a vagina or a front hole. No one's telling you that you have to be with a trans woman, or a trans person or an intersex person. However, you don't need to disrespect us to say that you don't want us. You can just say, I'm not interested. It don't make sense to be sitting up here going out of your way to belittle us and disrespect us because you aren't interested in us. That's what I'm talking about. It's ridiculous. Okay? And then it's just the bullshit. Y'all say this on social media and the public eye, but then behind closed doors, y'all are the main ones trying to eat our pussies, trying to have us ride your face, but yet on social media and in the public eye, vaginas are nasty, pussy's disgusting, trans men are, I would never. Yet, who's in our DMs? I'm just saying. So that's what I mean too by, like, you're full of shit half the time, and it's a lot of just straight up delusion, okay? You say one thing and then you're doing the exact opposite. You're a liar and you're a manipulator, and that's what a lot of you are. It's really just bizarre to witness and watch. And then like I said, they'll drag you for filth on social media and in the public eye. But then, like I said, when you get on Grindr, you get on Tinder, you get on Facebook, you get on Instagram, you get on Twitter, you see who's in your DMs, and you know good and damn well this person just made fun of you and everybody that's like you. But now, all of a sudden, they want to have a taste of your sweet puss. Okay. You can't tell me the double standards aren't there. It's very alarming to sit back and witness, to be completely honest. It's like, whoa. So I just wanted to talk about that. And then I'm also going to do another video where I talk about dealing with women, cis women, trans women, feminine people, trans femmes. Because transphobia and bigotry is also over there. Okay? Everybody, including myself, we all need to be doing the work, including myself, to unlearn closed-minded shit, hear people out, and stop being ignorant and being a bigot and an asshole, including myself. We need to do better, including myself.